Well, guys, hope that you have read this chapter, and now we are going to look at the comprehension section of it. Okay. Uh, as you know, like I will be just telling you the answers orally, and it will give you some ideas regarding like the things that you could write as your answer. The first question is, how has Salim Ali revolutionized bird study? Okay, well, Salim Ali has been a pioneer in bird study. He revolutionized this field by conducting studies on bird behavior and migration, and he also, worked a lot in the area of bird conservation. So that is how like he has revolutionized the field. Next is, what do the birds do to escape cold winters? हाँ, बर्ड्स जो है कोल्ड विंटर से बचने के लिए क्या करते हैं, इसके मतलब बच के निकलना. तो many species of birds fly thousands of miles every year, right? They just migrate from the colder from the cold environment to a warm land where they could lay eggs and raise their chicks. Okay. Now, the next question is, why is the cuckoo called a brood parasite? So, well, I mean, if you remember the lesson, you already know the answer, but you can simply write that cuckoo is a brood parasite because it lays its egg in the nest of bird from some other species, and then it completely forgets about it, right? And the young ones are hatched and brought up by foster parents. What is the magical ring? How did this help the ornithologists? मैजिकल रिंग क्या होता है और कैसे जो है ये और कैसे इसने जो है ornithologists की मदद की? Well, magical ring is like basically made of a small aluminum or plastic which is clamped on the bird's foot. The ring has to be very light so that it does not handicap the bird in any way. Message is put on that ring asking the finder of the bird or ring to return the ring to a particular address. He's also asked, the finder is also asked to name the place, date and time where the ring was found. The ringing of birds help the ornithologists find out more about migration and to know how far the birds migrate. Next question is, how did Dr. Salim Ali and BNHS help WHO? Well, remember that Siberian virus, right? Dr. Salim Ali and BNHS helped WHO in banding or ringing the birds. They actually Dr. Salim and his team would collect ticks and other parasites for the WHO, and they also clamped magic ring that would tell the story of bird migration to and from India. What are mist nets? How did they help the ornithologists? Well, mist nets were invented by the Japanese. These nets are very light, springy, and almost invisible, which are set on bamboo poles. Birds are trapped in the nets like like flies are trapped in a spider's web. And then from there, the birds are quickly untangled, weighed, measured, and ringed. And then they are, set free to fly away. It revolutionized the field of, like ornithology because these nets were much easier to handle compared to the earlier nets. And these nets did not cause any damage to the bird. Which qualities of the migrants does the narrator refer to? Well, that's another interesting story. Well, see, like the most important quality the migrants have is that they fly thousands of miles and land at a particular place everywhere. They are extremely punctual and arrive within the same time frame every year. They neither get lost nor die of exhaustion. In many species of birds, the young one actually make their first migratory journey alone without their parents. Example is cuckoo, European cuckoo, right? So, well, that is it. Now, let us move to the reference to context section of this chapter, and we have got quite a few of them. Sorry. So, some early naturalists believed they hid in the bottom of the sea to rise like the phoenix in the Greek legend. So, what are some of the observations made about early naturalists in the text? And name some early naturalists who hid in the bottom. Name some early naturalists who hid in the bottom of the sea. So, well, to answer these questions, you can say that early naturalists did not have enough resources and equipment that ornithologists use today. They did not have a solid body of work to refer to. Some early naturalists were like Charles Darwin, John James Audubon, George Cuvier. So you can write these names, but they did not know much about migration. They believed that, you know, like Greek legends, migratory birds hid in the bottom of the sea to rise like the phoenix. But in many species of bird, the young make their first migratory journey alone without mom or dad. Which species of birds make their first migratory journey alone? Why? So, well, so this is something that you will have to research. Cuckoo is one. So you can say that there are many birds that make their first migratory journey alone. Cuckoo is an example. And next thing is that according to ornithologists, migration isn't a taught behavior. It is caused by genetic or inherent traits or instincts. The snake's sandy coloring makes it blend in so well with desert soil that it's easy to step on. So, which geographical location is the Earth speaking about? Run of Kutch. Why has the writer mentioned snakes? Did the writer face problems with them? Well, the writer is mentioning snakes because they had to, like one of their bordering camps in Run faced heavy rain, and as a result, there was, flooding, and the place had lots of snakes. And since, their sandy color, it was, very easy to step on them. Thankfully, you can say that, I mean, in response to did the ornithologist face any trouble? You can say that since no one was bitten by the snakes, so there was no big trouble. However, they had many close shaves. Okay. Now, what would have been the end of one of most precious waterbird heavens in the world? Which place is the writer talking about? What do we know about this heaven today? Well, the writer is talking about the bird sanctuary in Bharatpur. It is now known as Kyoladio National Park. And how would it have ended? Well, the local farmers around Bharatpur Bird Sanctuary wanted to get the sanctuary drained and converted into agricultural land, and it would have ended the precious waterbird heaven. So, well, let's take a break here. In the next lesson, we will check out the discussion section and then also the vocabulary part, and then we will move to listening activity maybe. Bye bye.